Hello, my name is Mariah Crawford, and the project-based learning unit I will be discussing today is called the Storytime channel. So the Storytime channel is a unit that allows kids to bring stories to life for members of their community. So the end goal is that we would have our own channel and kids work up to the point where they can perform their final screening in front of the community members. So this would be a suitable project for grades kindergarten through second grade with a focus on English language arts. So this project would be engaging for students because they're given freedom to create an original story without strict criteria from their teachers. And students could also look forward to the public screening at the end of the unit where members of the community could act as a live audience while students perform their scripts for the Storytime channel. It's also engaging because students will be able to use technology to film their scripts that can go on the channel at the end of this unit. So this unit would also challenge students' critical thinking skills because they would be asked to create new and original storylines. Students would also need to match and identify which genre their story is. So they would be asked questions at the beginning of the unit to give them a better understanding of storytelling. So these questions could be: why do people tell stories? What makes stories interesting to you? How can we share stories with others? And why are some of the same stories told in lots of places? So this project-based learning unit also touches on all levels of Bloom's taxonomy. So the first level is remember. So throughout the unit, students will need to reflect on the initial questions they answered after viewing an example story. So these questions could be: why do people tell stories? And what makes you want to listen to stories? So they will need to reflect on these questions because this will guide their decision making throughout the unit. The next step is to understand. So once students understand the appeal that motivates storytelling, they will choose a story of their choice and be asked to answer questions on the story, such as: what genre was this? What did you enjoy about the story? What made you want to keep reading? And why do you think the author wrote this story? Once they can show an understanding of these topics, they will move to the next step, which is apply. So students will begin brainstorming for their own story ideas based on the questions that have been previously discussed. And after viewing multiple examples of formats and scripts, students will be asked to create simple scripts of their own. Once students have created their own scripts, they will rotate and read their scripts to one another. They will be asked to analyze each other's performance and determine if the readers use clear voices, if they have different voices for different characters, and did they use tone to convey the character's emotions. So the next step of Bloom's taxonomy is to evaluate. So students should be able to defend and argue a point. So students will form teams and be asked to evaluate each other's sample scripts. They'll be asked to select one script that best fits the criteria, and they will transform this into a full script. So they'll need to work together and come on an agreement to their work, and they should be able to defend why their story is interesting and what will make people want to keep listening. So the last step of Bloom's taxonomy is to create. So students will be asked to create practice videos and prepare for their official video premiere in front of the community. This will demonstrate all of their acquired knowledge throughout the unit. So at the end of the unit, students will have learned Common Core English Language Arts standards as well as life skills. So some of the Common Core standards include reading fluently for comprehension, identifying central messages, understanding different points of views, creating narratives, and revising and editing work. Students will also gain life skills and have an understanding of the community. They'll be asked to collaborate with teams, create original ideas, and present the final product for members of the community. So that is an overview of the Storytime channel project-based learning unit, and I believe this will be an effective and engaging way to address literacy skills in elementary education. Students are challenged through all levels of Bloom's taxonomy and will gain crucial critical thinking skills as well as life skills. So that brings us to the end, and thank you for listening.